introduction and now the band. We're here with Witch Ripper, who have ah, a ripper of an album
Ah,
coming out. It's out April 10th. It's called Through the Hourglass via Magnetic Eye. And if you're into albums that blow your mind and you can immerse yourself in, this is the fucking album.
fuck
This
yeah.
this is
Oh
the
yeah.
album. It's I'm telling you, I cannot I told you this before, but I'm so amazed at the songs that you guys create and the elements that you bring in from all over. It's fucking spectacular.
Awesome, man. Thank you. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
the kind words. I mean, I imagine you're bombarded by 17 albums every hour, so I appreciate the kind words for us like sticking out a little bit too. Like it's cool. And like I was saying earlier, like I'm already was a fan of this podcast. I watch your guys' Instagram clips all the time. Like, thank you for having us on here. We really appreciate it.
It's really cool, like when you're I think when from an outsider's perspective, you look at heavy music and you're like, oh my God, there are so many bands and so many people. But then when you get into it, it's, oh, well, I know so and so. Oh shit, you do too? Fuck. Well, I know, it's like it's so
Yeah.
small and really like a solid, like tight knit community, which I think we need more of, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, there's always that joke of like you play a show with someone 17 years ago, but you're still friends with them on social media now, even though you like both shared some crusty little like punk den couch for one night, and
Yeah.
like I think that's a testament to people being passionate about what they do. And like I was saying, like metal is counterculture. It's never gonna be this huge thing that like generates money, does the stuff. So all we have is each
I,
other. And
I'm gonna
yeah.
argue against that. I'll argue against that, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna use one band, Metallica.
Yeah, but you can't even get him on the Super Bowl though. It's crazy.
Fuck, they don't need to be on the Super Bowl. I mean, dude, they play two shows a week. That is their fucking tour. Like,
It's like a
and
million
there's
dollars each show too. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
like that's I think that's the life we all aspire to be. Like, I want to play shows, but I don't want to overdo it. Like, that's
I mean
fucking
they're the most financially successful band of all time, aren't they? Like I think like over like even a lot of pop acts. Like it's like
I would have to think so.
Really?
I mean, the
yeah,
way
there's some
that
stuff out there.
they're very well structured.
Yeah,
Same thing with like Mastodon and Clutch and some other there are really quite a few other bands now that are they're a lot more financially successful than I think a lot of people would think just
yeah,
because of how they structure stuff, right? Like bands are I hate God, right? Like they are now um, paying to record their music, so they own all the masters and all the publishing, and then
yeah.
they just license out their music. Which, I mean, to go to that level for a band is like that's where you become successful, right? Is
Oh,
owning
for
your
sure.
shit.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of bands now where they were on these labels and then now they're independent. And because they built that fan base already, they're able to just like take in a lot more money because they're doing all the stuff themselves and yeah, paying for it themselves and then owning the masters and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool and it's really cool to see, especially like thinking back to the horror stories of the bands from like the 80s and 90s where they signed some bullshit deal and they're like, dude, we sold 1 million albums and we still owe, you know,
Yeah.
$10 million. Like, what the fuck?
Yep.
So
There's a really good documentary about Twisted Sister's earlier days that I watched a couple years ago. And it is wild. And they talk about how like them owning their own stuff and like labels
hold that
didn't.
thought.
It's
I just
amazing.
music just turned on for me and I don't know where the hell it's coming from. I
I'm gonna
don't
I should probably
know.
close my window just in case.
Oh, I know where it's coming from.
I
No,
live in
it's
the
not there.
I live in the city, so you might hear police sirens go by.
Holy shit, that was it. That was so weird. I hit my ear pod and it starts fucking going. I'm like, what the
No
fuck?
worries. No
Uh,
worries.
I've never done. I'm new to these. I usually have the over the ears,
Oh yeah,
and
I'm amateur hour with just a laptop, so
but that's all right. I'm fucking amateur as shit, dude. I'm old, so I'm like technology. I don't know. Uh,
Dude,
so
I'm
it's
stoked. I got on a Zoom today all by
yeah.
myself.
Well, not all by myself. I was like, "Hey, daughter, come and help me." She's like, "Okay, do it like this."
gotcha,
Cool.
good.
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you guys this. Like, which Ripper started in 2011, 2012-ish, right?
Yeah, so it started in 2012 technically, but at that point it was just me and just a recording thing. So like that first EP I actually recorded while I still lived in Minneapolis. The drummer of my old band played drums on it, but I played everything else. And then I moved to Seattle. So I feel like the band actually became a band in 2013 when we found like people to actually play in the band and start playing shows. Like that to me is the real start of the band. But that first EP was recorded in 2012.
Cool. So you had the concept and then brought in the rest of the band, which is it's cool. And like you guys have I don't want to say change directions, but with the last album, you kind of found your feet, right? Like really opening up these progressive realms, and now this is like,
Well, like as with any band, you kind of have to figure out kind of your sound over time. And like that first EP and even our first full length, like I think like I was heavily influenced by bands I liked, like Mastodon, Baroness, and Neurosis, but I kind of hadn't found a unique voice in that realm.
quick sidebar.
Yeah,
Holy fuck, Neurosis.
I
Oh my
know.
God.
I
Oh,
woke
I
up, I was
saw
like,
that.
wait, what?
Yes.
And like, I mean, also ISIS is amazing, so what a great fit, and I'm glad that they figured that out. Because I'm
Yeah.
sure there was a lot of long talks to get that, like, hey, are we gonna do this? Does Aaron gonna work out? Like, blah blah blah, and like, it's sick. So
Yeah. So
my,
sorry. Like you mentioned Neurosis, and I was just like, man, I got a
oh,
fucking
dude,
such a boner for that. Like,
one of my favorite live shows I've ever been to was at a venue in Seattle called Numos, and the lineup went Sumac, Yob, Neurosis. That was the full lineup. It was one of the most incredible experiences musically I've ever had.
is Numos the basement venue?
No, it's a big venue. Like I think it's like 1,000 cap venue.
You're probably thinking of Barboza, the one below it. It's on
Oh,
Capitol Hill. Then they
yeah.
have two
That's
venues. Yeah.
yep. Yeah, I saw Inter Arma at Barboza years ago. It's 2016, almost 10 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Inner Arm is another great band, been around forever too.
Yeah, it's there's so much good fucking music out there. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
But yeah,
So,
like that first album, like it was really more like influences. And then like when we started doing the previous album, The Fly After the Fall, and this album, I feel like we've kind of landed on more of a voice, which is what any band can hope to do is just kind of trying to find your spot and like what
yeah,
clicks with the band.
it's cool that you feel that way as well. You know what I mean? Like for you mentioned Howling Giant before we got started, and I I'll be honest, I fucking love Howling Giant now, but like when I first tried to listen to them, it didn't click for me.
Yeah.
Like I was it just for whatever reason it didn't click, and then I saw them live, and it was like, oh, I fucking got it.
Yeah,
And
totally.
to go back and listen to them right post like live show like with Glass Future they I feel like they really found their feet, and Crucible and Ruin they expanded on it, and I'm just like I feel that way with you guys as well. Like I am if I could see just YouTube bands play for like 4 hours, I would be fucking in heaven. You know what I
That'd be
mean?
amazing.
Yeah,
We
they
played,
really
played
stepped it
one
up
show
with
with them.
Crucible and Ruin. Yeah, we played once with them. What was that, like a year and a half ago, maybe?
That's like last time they came through Seattle, I think we played that
Yeah.
show. They're also like the nicest guys in the world. And then, I mean, like we're on the same label, so if they ever wanted to do a tour together, Like I think that would be amazing because I think our bands both we sit in this like kind of doom prog rock genre, but I think we both approach it from different angles. So it would be a really cool tour to do. Personally, I would
Agreed.
love that. Yeah.
It's similar enough where it's not like, you're not doing the exact same thing, and the sounds are completely different, which are is fucking awesome. Just
Yeah.
like,
But even like I
Well,
remember, like that time we hung out with them, I was talking to Tom, their guitar player, and like at the time our guitar rigs were super similar. Like even just the gear we use, like he was using an orange and a 5150 on that tour, and I'm playing an EVH, and this last album Chad recorded through an orange. Like we're actually using really similar sounds, but just approaching it from a different angle, you know?
yeah, that's fucking cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And yeah,
go ahead, Chad.
this so the main difference for like this album compared to the last, like I came in during the middle of the last record and I only recorded vocals on that. So I didn't have any like input on the songwriting. So this new album, I was able to like put in my 2 cents here and there, like on how things should go. And I think this newer album is just way more of a collection of like all of our input. Curtis was writing all the stuff and bringing it in, and then we were just all hashing it out together. So this was like my first full record from start to finish with the band.
How do you feel? How do you feel with like the finished product?
Oh, I think it's awesome. I love it. Yeah, I'm really proud of it. I think like, for me, my writing style is a little different. So, coming into these songs and like having these different sorts of progressions and riffs and stuff, it was like, oh, okay, if I kind of just tweak what I normally do a little bit, it'll fit right in.
That's fucking cool. So, like, what did you do before you came to Witch Ripper?
I played more like, you know, kind of straight ahead rock, but a lot of kind of somewhere in the middle of like the indie emo punk hardcore, somewhere in the middle there. And I've always like loved heavy music. I just never been in like a traditional like metal band before. So this was like me really going into those waters for the first time and learning how to chugga chugga and do all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So, how is it like? How do you feel? I mean, I feel like listening to what you've recorded, you've folded in really well, and you're taking to it. Like, do you have to approach it different to, compared to what you were doing before?
A little bit in the fact that I'm singing like longer phrases, and just like
Longer
holding stuff
songs?
out longer. Yeah, longer songs for sure. I mean, now it feels normal to play an 8 minute song. It feels like playing a 4 minute song or a 3.5 minute song. But at first I was just like, okay, there's a lot in each song that I have to learn to get this figured out. But because yeah, before that, the longest song I'd had was like maybe 4 or 5 minutes or something. But yeah, this was definitely a step in a little bit different direction for me.
That's fucking cool. Curtis, how do you feel like Chad is like coming in? Do you feel like,
I mean, I
I don't
love
know?
it. I mean, like, it's the funniest thing was like, so on that previous album, we basically announced that we were gonna let our other guitar player go. And then I was like, put out like kind of like a general blast, being like, hey, we're gonna like casually start looking for someone. And then when he hit us up, I was like, I'd never heard him play guitar before, which was the funniest part. I'd
Yeah.
only ever seen him sing in bands. So I was like, hey, I've like never heard you play. And he's like, well, I can do it. I'm like, okay, well, you realize that like if this works out, I'm also gonna make you sing. Like, because I'd heard him sing in bands before. And one thing that I really appreciate is that like it's allowed us to write different kinds of music. Like we have a song on that new album called Proxima Centauri that wouldn't exist if Chad's melodic sensibilities and his vocal ability was there. We wouldn't be able to put a song like that on a record. Like it just wouldn't happen, you
That
know?
was literally the song that was playing when you got in Zoom, and I was just like,
Yeah. And it's like we can't make music like that. without Chad's ability and his ability to be like, hey, this is how I want to approach songwriting. We need to kind of structure it this way or this way. This way, this works with how I like to write music. And that wouldn't exist. Like that song just wouldn't exist without him, you know.
Sure. That
Yeah,
it's cool. Oh, go ahead.
I feel like you know, Curtis, a lot of stuff on this record in particular has a lot more um, you know, chord sequences and stuff, like more opportunity to be melodic over it. So like that song in particular, Proxima, um, it was like he goes, okay, I want you to sing this whole song. And I was like, oh, okay. Like that's a fun challenge. And two, I was like, well, you know, I always have that fear that people are like, he's taking over the band. He's trying to take it over. You know what I mean? But I think just being given that license to really go for it and just sit down and figure out the song idea and write all the vocals. And I did all the backup vocals on that song too, recording. So it was a lot of just like figuring out harmonies and how everything fit together. And I spent a long time on those lyrics, just trying to make sure they were right and that I was had a direction for it and everything. And yeah, I sat actually right here and wrote that thing all out, just listening to our pre-pro demos and whatnot. So I feel like any anything I bring in, like there may be a little like maybe tweak that this or you know a little bit here, but that one I brought in and they're just like cool, that's great, that's it.
Yeah.
Didn't ask me to change anything, so that was fun.
That's cool as shit. Like that, that's to me, that's got to be like a testament to your creativity and your ability. You're pretty new to the band, and you come in with this song and they're just like, yeah, cool. That's it. Oh,
Yeah. Well, and yeah, Curtis, you know, wrote all the music for that song, so it was just a matter of me like figuring out the singing over it. But um, you know, just figuring out all those little elements was super fun.
But it dictates the forms of the songs too, though. And like a great example sticking with that song is we have a little like repeated tag on the verses that I would never think to write, but knowing that Chad wants to sing that, that's how that song like makes more sense, you know.
Yeah,
yeah.
totally.
That's what I mean by like these guys like I do bring most of the riffs to the table. Like that's the thing, but like the songs themselves get put together by everyone's songwriting, like their ideas are what actually makes the songs listenable. Otherwise, just a bunch of nonsense, you know.
Yeah.
And like the guys in the band, everyone, like Joe and Brian included, like really help turn the songs into what they are. And like sometimes I get hard-headed about stuff and sometimes I'm down, but like that's how the songs become the songs they are for sure.
Well, like I think that, that's there are times where you've got to be like, no, this is like it. This is what it is. We're not changing it. That is to
Yeah.
me, that's just a piece of you. But it's cool that you got you all together collaboratively can sit down and take the time and work through the different riffs, and lyrics and all that shit, and actually you know, get it together. Because I think that's I'm looking for a really easy fucking word that I should know, and I can't think of it.
It's collaborative. Like,
Well, but that's not the word I'm looking for
It
though.
makes
It's
it
like
like fluid.
the arrangement. That's the word.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I was telling somebody else about this. It's like our albums only have essentially like 5 or 6 songs on them usually, so there's not a lot of room for like garbage riffs. And like, so it's like having everyone, even if they're have hard-headed ideas, it always makes the final product better because that just means we just give a shit about the time that we have on the album.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, Brian as a bass player, you know, it's like, yes, he's our bass player, but he also has just like a really good critical ear and eye for things, you know, because he'll do a lot of our t-shirt designs and posters and all that. So there's always this thing where like I'll be like, yeah, okay, that's cool. And Brian's like, let's
No.
keep working on that. Yeah. And so I think that's really important because, you know, you need that like different energies coming in. um,
Well,
that
dude,
can kind of complete the
I
story.
agree. I think if not everyone's 100% on this thing, song, riff, whatever, um, that's where needs to go. Okay, we need to do something else here, and that it takes it really takes the quality up. It's all killer and no filler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the goal.
I mean, these
As
guys do
Lane,
it like I'm like crazy on editing songs where I'm like, we'll have riffs we've been playing for like 3 months, and I'll walk up to practice one day. I'm like, nope, it's all gone, hate it, and it's just because they say like that, all killer, no filler, and like the filler or killer doesn't mean that it's a more complicated or proggy riff. It just means it's the correct part for the song.
right? Which
It's
serves the song, and I think we so many artists get away from that. It's another attribute to same thing with like Howling Giant. They don't their shit. There's no filler. And I think it's crazy to think about like listening to both bands. You guys do have very progressive music, but the vocals are they have a pop sensibility to them that it's so hooky, and it for me as the listener, it just makes me feel comfortable inside the music.
Yeah, it's like one thing that I will toot our horn about is that I feel like we try hard to be good songwriters and like think about like what is listenable, what's not. I mean, we have a song off our last album that's 17 and a half minutes long. We play it live constantly. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, we're going to play this song. I guarantee while you're in the audience, you'll never once think about how long the song is. And people say it all the time. They're like, yeah, that just flew by. I was like, yeah, it was half the set was one song.
Yeah,
And it's like there's a art form to writing stuff that like does take up a long time, but doesn't you don't lose interest on.
yeah.
And that
It's
doesn't
it
mean we don't repeat riffs ever. We repeat stuff all the time. It's just how you put it together.
it's hard though. It's like sometimes you get into God, I listen to some music and I'm
Yeah.
like
Pacing's
it,
important.
yeah.
And like we pace our songs within the albums certain ways as well. Because like it's like pacing is I think it's super important as far as like songs and album flow. Like it's something I really focus on.
So crazy. It you feel I feel like a lot more bands really focus on the arrangement of the album, the songs, so it flows really fucking well into one another. And it's so seldom, maybe not seldom, the albums that I listen to or the music that I tend to like go, oh, I'm gonna listen to this and I'm gonna listen to that. I do really well, and it's not often that I go, oh, why the fuck did they put that song there? Like that
Yeah.
sucks. Uh, it's just nice to know that more people are taking that like attention to detail with it because I don't know. I think a lot of albums for me growing up, there were like, I probably wouldn't. It's so weird to think about. I didn't write the albums. I don't know what the fucking intent was behind them, but I'm like, I probably would have put that song there instead. But
Or just having
whatever.
Yeah.
like I feel like that was a thing in the 90s having like skit songs or joke songs just in the middle of albums all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
always think of that. I think it was like that I think it was Stone Temple Pilots had like that one like little like jazz song on one of their albums where they're just like do and it's like a minute long, but it's just on their album for some reason. I'm like, what is this?
Dude, I just fucking talked to this, I don't know, hardcore, metalcore, deathcore band, and their latest EP. I'm listening to it, and right in the middle, there's an electronic song. It's just like, doom, and I'm like, what the, what,
Yeah.
what just happened here?
I feel
Um,
like that was a Dillinger escape plan thing to do as well. They have that, and yeah, I think that old punk band Lagwagon, they have like
I
I think
love
it's
them.
even a part in a song, but it all of a sudden just switches to like elevator music style. And you're like, what is happening right now?
Yeah, yeah. That it's cool when bands try something new. Uh, so it's because it does make you go, oh, I need to like pay attention because did someone change the track? I don't know what's going on here. Uh, what? With Through the Hourglass, what did you guys do differently, or do you feel you did differently or better than you did with the last album?
Well, so I mean, one big thing is like it is a continuation of the last album.
Right.
And like the biggest thing between like the Flat After the Fall to the Through the Hourglass for me is both albums kind of have this big wall of sound production. Like I do all like there's like synths and like strings and stuff attached where they need to be. But on the previous album, I feel like we learned how to make space on an album better. So like on the Flight After the Fall, I was really out into like these bands like Paul Bearer and Chemist, and I was like, oh, let's triple track the rhythm guitars and to like make this huge thick thing. And then they were triple tracked in the sense of like one was almost clean, one had a little bit of gain, and one had a lot of gain. But in doing stuff like that, it kind of took up space for the drums to occupy and stuff like that. And so on this new album, a big thing that we did is I actually treated the rhythm guitars like the least important part of the album. Like I always did it like for instance, the chorus of the Portal, when we play it live, we're strumming through chords. But when we play it on the album, we had chords ring out. So it'd be like ring out, ring out, ring out. And then what's filling up that space while that's ringing out is guitar arpeggios and drum fills. And it was actually like learning how to create space for things that weren't just rhythm guitars. It was a huge thing for me.
Yeah, there was a quite a few times when we were putting the songs together where I'd be, strumming through something and it was just like, nope, let's just single note it or, just single strum, just keep the space there. Yeah. So that I think that's a big difference for sure.
It's huge. Like if especially I think the drums, but like also vocals as well. Like you'll hear a huge difference in like how the mixes sit between those two albums because we learned to make space for other things, you know.
That's cool. Space is such like a, especially when you get into heavier music, I don't think it's utilized as much as it could because, when you do, I just strum and let it kind of ring out. It makes those heavier parts heavier,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? Ah,
Or just like playing like a run, but instead of playing it with like power chords, playing it with single notes. So you're hearing the note and the power is coming from the bass hitting those notes and the kick drum like blasting it. Like you're still getting an oomph, but that fifth in your power chord, like it doesn't matter sonically because you're still getting hit by other things, you know?
yeah,
So that's
yeah.
like that's I think the biggest difference just sonically between those two albums. Songwriting wise, I think they're in a similar vein. Like I always equate it like the Flight After the Fall has a lot of these major parts, like very like 70s arena rock kind of inspired stuff, and it translates into our album artwork, like bright colorful album artwork. This second album, there's a lot more minor chords and harmonic minor melodies and darker songs. The album artwork is darker, so it's like the Flat After the Fall is A New Hope, and this one is The Empire Strikes Back, a little bit darker tonality, but still kind of they fit like a yin and yang for sure.
Now I got to go listen to them both back to back and fucking.
Yeah.
I get it though because I feel like you're right. I love that you fucking were able to bring Star Wars into the mix here. Um,
Agreed.
But it's like the easiest way, and I feel like ever since that original Lucas trilogy, I think a lot of movie trilogies also do this, and I think of our music very cinematically. So it's like you have like your bright introduction, you have your dark point in the middle, and who knows, maybe there'll be a third resolution that brings lightness back into the thing. Like a lot of movie trilogies do that, you know.
hmm. I never watched a lot of trilogies, so I don't watch a lot of movies though. Like to be fair,
Yeah.
I haven't in many many years. Although we watched some fucking weird movie this weekend. I don't even know. It was weird, but like that's the first movie I've probably watched in 3 or 4 years.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
wow. That's
I just
crazy.
think like we're especially because we're writing concept albums, I think very visually with our music. and it helps us have a direction, I think, lyrically as well as songwriting. But it's like, so like movies, like a bunch of graphic novels behind me, like that kind of pacing and how they do stuff actually inspires our music a lot.
That's cool. Do you feel like writing the concept albums, like obviously it's something that I feel sets you apart from, a lot of the other music out there because there are not a lot of concept albums. But do you feel like that helps or hurts you, or is it just a thing for you?
I just think it's a different experience, really, and writing and listening wise, because like, you know, we actually had some 3 or 4 sessions maybe where we all just like sat down together and just we'd be like, okay, this is the idea for this song. How do we want to go about it? And we're all sitting there with our notepads and how about this? How about that? And just going back and forth on it. Actually, the first time we got together for that was at Red Star Tacos in Fremont.
Yeah.
And Brian had to work a shift. So we're like, well, we'll just all go sit in the back and write and stuff. And so he would just pop in periodically and like kind of throw in his 2 cents and then go back to work and come back. And so, yeah, it's just, I think the collaborative nature of it was really fun and like a good challenge to do. Like we had those sessions, but then we all kind of went back and wrote stuff after the fact as well.
Or can't just
But
always do it all together, right? Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I actually think it's easier because it gives you an outline of what you want to say versus being like, what's this song about? I don't know. Like Dungeons and Dragons and some skulls and shit. Like, it's like it's harder because if you choose to be thoughtful about it, it's harder to do, but if it does actually give you a sense of direction while you're writing it, and it's like the songs are outlined and paced on the album in a certain way to reflect certain story beats. And then, I mean, like we had a whiteboard up and it would say, like, song three, what does this thing need to be about thematically to tell the story what we want to do? And it actually, I think it helps give direction to the album as well, like when we're writing it.
do you feel like doing the concept thing like puts you within a, I don't know, a prison of sorts? Like, okay, it has to be in this thing.
not necessarily. I mean, it gives you parameters to build off of, but I think even within the sort of story that we came up with, there's still some interpretation to it. Some of the lines are somewhat vague in a lot of ways, but once you kind of put it all together, then you kind of get more of a sense of the story. So I kind of liked that element of it. Not everything needed to be a straightforward story, like a
Completely
novel
spelled
written
out.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah. So there's still like room in there for it to just for each song to be its own.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
there's a good mix of like literal lyrics and just kind of descriptive lyrics. And you kind of find that middle ground of like you hit your story beats and you hit your vibe beats and you kind of mix them together. Because if everything was so literal, it wouldn't be interesting to listen to probably.
I think when it's literal, I think people aren't able to attach to it.
Yeah.
You know, when you leave it kind of open for interpretation. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I think most music fans are. When you listen to something, you go, "Oh, well, to me, this is what that meant."
Yeah,
Right?
and
And
it's
it
metal, so it's got to have some fantastical elements to it, especially story wise. Like that's yeah, like Dungeons and Dragons. That's what I mean. It has to have that sort of thing to it. If it's just like a song about you know what you did that day, I mean that's better for hardcore, right? Like something that's direct and to the point, and so I think it lends itself well.
yeah, me too. And I love the idea of like concept albums. I think for me, like the concept album, my introduction was Pink Floyd. As probably most people, you like
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah.
the Wall. I fucking listened to. I can't even tell you how many times I listened to that fucking album. Um, but it,
And
it
like
was
every time you put
good.
it on, you do start to like front to back, right?
Oh, frankly, that is just how I listen to music. When I like, I
Okay.
want to listen to this artist, I pick an album and I do front to back.
I also do that. I hate listening to single songs and moving on. But I
So
think
do I.
writing concept albums encourages that behavior from people that might not necessarily think about that kind of stuff.
Right.
You know,
It like it limits the playlist ability, but in my opinion, I don't think the playlist is where bands make fans. You get plays, and that's the extent of it, in my mind. Like you get streaming numbers, but like I don't think that fundamentally translates to new fans for the band. Whereas, when you can put on a fucking album and sit down with a friend and say, dude, you got to check this band out. And you sit there and you listen to the whole album, and it's like even if you don't say a fucking word, there's a conversation there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that introduction, it's an emotional element. Something I love doing with my kids too is, hey, fucking, like my daughter, dude, I remember taking her out to buy her first record player and records. She got a
Yeah,
record player. I was like, let's go to the fucking record store.
yeah.
She walks out of there with like 30 fucking records. She's like, are you sure? Fuck yeah. You
Like, yeah.
picked almost all of them. I picked a couple for you. And I mean, that was fuck, probably 7 or 8 years ago.
Oh, cool.
And
Yeah.
even now, she's like, oh, I just got this new record. I'm like, fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Well,
awesome.
singles and playlists, I feel like were meant to get you to go listen to the album. And I don't know how many people do that these days, but like, that's the thing. If I have like my library on shuffle and it comes on something that I'm really digging, if it goes to the next, another artist, I'm like, oh, actually, I need to go back and just click on the album and listen through it, because you get the one song and you like start getting that vibe going, and then all of a sudden it switches. So
Yeah,
I think I don't care how people listen, like playlist, single, whatever, but I really do want it to lead to them listening to the album.
sure.
I think that's
I
still a good model.
I can't do the shuffle. I just can't. Like,
Yeah.
my wife thinks I'm so fucking weird. Like, we'll take a road trip, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna listen to this artist for these albums, and then we're moving to this one. And she's like, why? What's the point? I'm like, I fucking love the music. Like, we're road tripping. This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Uh,
I like it when I can't figure out what I want to listen to. And then usually about the fourth song in, I'm like, oh, yeah, that. Okay, let's go. Yeah. My
Yeah,
wife and I did a trip to Iceland last year, and we made a point to be like, all right, you put on an album and we'll listen all the way through it. Then I'll put on an album and we'll listen all the way through it. So I don't know how many we got through, but probably like 20 records or something like that. It was really fun.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool as shit. My wife would never do that with me.
yeah,
She's like, we're gonna listen to Grateful Dead. I'm like, no, the fuck, we're not.
yeah. That's a vibe.
Yeah, I mean, like they're just not my thing, like I'm not into jam bands, and she absolutely is, and she'll entertain whatever the fuck I want to listen to. But she knows, like when we get in the car, it's my radio. Like
Hell
that's
yeah.
it.
This just got. I appreciate the stance though. So
Yeah, like I'm whatever. She's like, we're gonna go see Dave Matthews. I was like, no, the fuck, we're not. Have fun with that. Like, take a friend.
yeah, yeah. You
They,
can go.
See,
yeah.
the workaround is King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, because they
Ooh.
touch on that stuff, but they also do thrashy stuff and weird like indie stuff. So that
Well,
next
so
time, just put on some King Gizzy.
I've actually like I turned her on to Howling Giant. She fucking loves them now.
Awesome.
Who she loves Spotlights, who, they're just God, they're so fucking good. They're not as jammy, but they're so fucking good. And she's like, so I'm folding her
Yeah,
into
yeah, yeah.
our world. Uh fuck. God, it's
Yeah, I'll
so
have to
great.
check them out.
Oh yeah. Uh so Spotlight's the only way. Curtis, are you familiar with them?
I've seen that name pop up, but I'm kind of blanking right now.
So my introduction to them was 10 years ago. It was I think it was their first national tour, or it was for sure their first tour with their drummer now. They they were invited on the road with Deftones and refused. So they opened that show and my fucking jaw was on the floor. The best way I know to describe it is doom gaze.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Is there an album I should start with if I check them out?
Um,
They only have like three, it looks like.
I think they've got like five.
I'm just like on my streaming thing and it says like Seismic, Love and Decay, and Alchemy for the Dead.
So Alchemy for the Dead is the most recent. Seismic, I think, was 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
Titles, Titles was my introduction. That was 2016.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. That's an EP from 2016. Gotcha.
yep. Um, there's one, We Are All Atomic, or We Are Atomic.
No.
That's really fucking good. So my favorite is Love and Decay, though. Like,
Okay. I mean, we're about to be in a van a bunch in about a month, so it's like
Yeah.
I am always looking for new music to put on. So,
yes. Well, listen, you can hit me up anytime, dude. I will happily, if you got a fucking good band suggestion, I'll listen. I will send you shit
hell yeah.
because it's this is to me, this is what brings us together. It's like, dude, I fucking I listen to this band. I think you'll dig them. And it's like, oh, you fucking nailed it. Like,
I think
I
like
think
every podcast I've done for this album, I've gotten at least one band to like check out for myself, which I personally love because it's like, as you know more than anybody else, like we're bombarded by albums. It's almost hard to like sift through stuff to like maybe
yeah,
actually take the time to check things out. So when having a conversation with someone like this, I'm like, yeah, okay. It gives me like something to actually focus on and listen to. So I like that.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
yeah,
I know.
a
400 emails a
recommendation.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah. A recommendation is always better than, well, not better, but I tend to like it more than finding it on my own sometimes. It's
It's a
just,
warm introduction, is what it is.
yeah. And for this last record that we made, we'd already done the tour before, and like we've done some smaller trips, and we just like take turns putting on music. So it's cool that we all sort of like can get a different sense of like where everyone's coming from and like the different influences, and like it's a wider range than you would think with a metal band. But I think it's important that like everybody shares music. Like when you're making music together, it I think it
Even if
really
you're
gives you a
not,
better perspective. Yeah.
it's to me, there's so many things that are divisive anymore.
Yeah.
Like even genres and subgenres. Like, oh, I don't listen to fucking jam bands. Like, there
Yeah.
are some jam bands that I can get into, but most of them just like, ah. But when you're able to share music, especially in close quarters like that over extended periods of time, I think it brings a closeness and a connection that otherwise you don't have. That's why I like live music, is that I feel like I'm not only connected with the band, I'm connected with all the people that are there enjoying it with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
You know?
like, tickets and beer aren't cheap. Like people paid money to be in that environment. Like like I work in a music venue, so I always appreciate that. Be like, hey, you could have been at home playing Xbox right now, but you came out for this. So like, well, I want to make sure whether we're performing or I'm just working, like you actually feel acknowledged that like you made an effort to do this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. And it's really cool to watch people go, "Oh man, like look at that guitar," or "Oh, I got a fucking pick from him," or he hit me on the head with a drumstick. I don't know.
Dude,
Uh,
I mean, even like I'm pretty hard about this personally, but like when someone comes up to the merch booth, just giving like the everyday please and thank yous to people that like stop by, whether they buy something or not. I'm like, dude, thanks for hanging out tonight. Or like if they buy something, I'll immediately say thank you first. It's just like acknowledging that they're like doing this. No one's forcing them to do it. They're choosing to do this behavior. is
Yeah.
like as an artist acknowledging them is I think it's really important.
I I agree. I think it lets them know that this is more than I'm not here just to make, to make money. I'm
It is
here
not lost on
for
me.
this, you
Yeah,
know.
and I really
Yeah.
appreciate it. None of it's lost on me as far as like you bought that shirt, cool. That's our gas to the next thing, but like it's more importantly like we made a connection there. So it's like, yeah, I see that, you know.
Hell yeah. So speaking of live shows, what do you guys have coming up?
So we have our album release show April 3rd at a venue in Ballard called The Sunset. We're playing with some really cool bands. This band called Dust Moth, who their singer Irene actually has a guest spot on our album. So that last song, The Spiral Eye, with those haunting kind of female vocals, she is the vocalist of the band we're playing with. And then a local band called Is Me, which are kind of like progressive black metal. So I kind of they sound like early Opeth, but also modern sounding. It's a weird mix, but they're really cool dudes.
Hell yeah. So
And
it's only
then
a three band bill.
only three bands. We're gonna play the full album plus a couple extra songs. So it's like, why not kill people with like a 6 hour show, you know? Yeah,
What
exactly.
three like three band bills are perfect.
Yeah. We try
You
to
know,
see that. And like sometimes like we'll put together a bill and it'll have three bands, but none of those three bands would normally ever open a show. And so we'll add a fourth to kind of make it so like none of these cool bands are the opening band.
out of the opener. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the only time like we'll really try to do that, you know. But like three band bills are sick. After that, I don't know when this will come out versus whatever, but we'll be announcing a tour for end of May, like a West Coast like 16-day tour. We have some regional stuff, like we're playing like Canada, we're playing up north, some other stuff. We have some other stuff that comes through that's actually going to be incredible if it comes through. That I
Yeah,
can't.
some exciting one.
Yeah, if that actually happens, that'd be sick. But we have a bunch of stuff booked out almost till September, essentially, and like it'll kind of all be getting announced as we get closer to those dates.
Okay. So the big question is, are you guys coming to the Midwest or the East, or are those in the works this year?
Midwest is in the works. I don't think East Coast is going to happen. We actually tried to make was like the Asheville Doomed and Stoned, but kind of like in between stuff we'd already had booked, it just wouldn't have worked. We'd had to fly out there and like cost wise for everything, it just wouldn't have worked
Just
out.
makes sense. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I talked to those guys actually on another podcast last week, and I was like, next year, let's make it happen. Like, I would personally love to come East Coast, and doing a fest like that would be a great reason to do it, you know?
Oh, for sure. There are some really cool fests out here. Of course, Asheville Doomed and Stoned is super fucking rad. 16 is playing there this year
I
too,
love
which
that
is like
band.
me too.
Yeah. I still haven't listened to that like cover album they did, but like the previous one before that, I really liked.
It was fucking stellar, dude. Bobby's super easy to talk to as well. Um, Legalized Lex, that happens. When does that happen? The 17th and 18th this year. So it legalized, of course, it's going to fall
Yeah,
somewhere
yeah.
around like 420. Um, so that's another opportunity for you guys. And who fucking else?
Where are you
Uh,
located?
I live in Louisville.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
We've actually played Louisville once. We did like
Back bar.
a Metal Monday there. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Fuck
Yeah,
yeah, dude.
dude. So like this was before Chad was in the band, but we played I think it was Chicago Dune and Stone like pre-COVID, and then like everyone we talked to like, what are you guys doing after this? I'm like, oh, we're heading down to Louisville. There's a Metal Monday. Every single band was like, hell yeah, that place fucks, you know.
Yeah.
And we went down there and like we went down the street to this like sushi and taco place in the middle of
Yep.
Louisville. Like, all right, what's sushi in Louisville gonna be like? And we're all like, this was awesome. And then we went over to the venue, completely empty. We string our first chord completely full.
Yeah.
Everyone's like running around being crazy. As soon as this chord was done, everyone left.
Out. Yep.
It's like the locals knew I'm gonna show up for that band for that set, and then I'm gonna fuck off and go do something else. But they still all showed up for the band.
It's so, and that's the great thing about Metal Mondays. One is they're free to anyone who shows up,
Yep.
right? That is, I think that is such an important thing, and the bands still get paid. Um,
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
it was a great night, and like the people were into it too, and we were just like we have no idea what to expect, but I don't know if that venue's still around or not, but it was awesome.
So it changed. So Metal Monday now changed. Where you played at was Highlands Tap Room,
Okay.
and it is now Mag Bar's Metal Monday. So Mag Bar is like the dive bar in Louisville. It is. I've been here 25 years, and I've been going there for 25 fucking years. You
Hell
know.
yeah.
But for them to move it from Highlands Tap Room to Mag Bar, it increased capacity, right? Because I think Tap Room, I think their cap was like 40 or 50 people.
It was small, but like it packed out like immediately too, which was
It
cool.
it does. It absolutely did. And all those people are now they go to Mag Bar. So but it's not as packed all the time, but you're still looking. I think the least amount of people. It actually doors are at 8 minutes from Metal Monday.
Ah,
Uh, uh, the least amount of people that I've seen in there is 40.
yeah.
Like
That's pretty good for a Monday.
for a
Yeah.
Monday, that's rad as shit, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Uh,
was cool. So that was my Louisville experience. We also went to like some arcade bar kind of thing like that. And like overall that town was
you went to
really fun.
Rec Bar.
I don't know where it was. It was in like a different neighborhood of Louisville, but like they walked in there, there's like little like Dreamcast and arcade cabinets set up everywhere. It was very like low key and it was super fun. And then we went to the venue and it was cool.
Hell
So
yeah. Did they have a restaurant like in the middle?
no, this was like 6 years ago, so it might have changed, but at the time they did not. If it's the same.
Gotcha. Well, no, Rec Bar, like from the time it opened, it was like they had all the arcade and shit around, but it was also like focused around like bar and food and shit.
This
Um,
one was like really low key where like they had some arcade cabinets, but they also just had like consoles hooked up to TVs everywhere.
nice.
Yeah, that was more the vibe of it. So
That's cool as shit.
yeah.
Now we got to get you guys back to Louisville.
Like I said, we
Man,
had a blast. We went to like some graveyard and looked at like super old graves, went to an arcade bar, got sushi, and then played a show and fucked off. Like
You went to Cave Hill,
maybe that's what it was. Like, is that the graveyard thing over there?
right down on Bardstown Road, where Bardstown and Baxter meet. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like you just see like tombstones that are like 300 years old or some shit like that. So,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah.
There.
well, I've never been, so I'm down.
So Muhammad Ali is buried there.
Oh, okay.
Uh, and that's where is it Night of the Living Dead or one of those movies has a scene in Cave Hill Cemetery, which
Oh,
is cool.
sick. I wonder if that's how we ended up there. That's probably honestly more likely like how we ended up there for sure, but it was cool.
Yeah. Look, Louisville is people don't think like, oh, it's fucking Kentucky. Like, yeah, but dude, it's
Yeah.
super rad. Like
I met like recently I met one of the bands from Louisville. It's like a melodic they kind of sound like a monomarth. Like the name's something to have to do with like volcanoes or some shit like that.
Volcandra.
Yes, I met those guys. They played my venue like 2 months ago or something like that, and they were the nicest dudes in the world.
Oh,
So,
that's when they were out with the Australian band. Fuck, what
yep.
was their
New Zealand band.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I know. So, like I said, these come through the place where I work.
Blindfolded and led to the woods.
Yes, and those were also really nice guys. But yeah, Volcandra, they were actually my
Dude,
favorite band that night.
I did an interview with them while they were in Seattle at the venue.
Oh, funny. So I was
Oh,
probably
cool.
walking around in the background, like loading up a
Yeah,
bar. But yeah, so like that was the only band I've met from Louisville, but they were extremely nice guys and they played an awesome set too.
they're fucking great, dude. And like, Dave River. So Travis is no longer in the band. Mike is on drums. There's one more, and I'm like, I feel like a complete asshole right now for not remembering. So
Yeah.
fuck.
Well, they
But
were nice. Yeah. They're a cool
they
band.
are. Yeah, they're really good. River from Volcandra also plays in Savage Master.
Okay. I'm not familiar with that one, but
So they're like Savage Masters in the like traditional uh, heavy metal vein.
hell yeah.
Yeah, they're fucking rad. Holy shit.
Well, we're
Wow,
all
what conversation we're having, guys.
Yeah, man, it's
Ah,
like I said, like you meet people and if you got a good memory, like you remember all these little bands from places you've been to once before or like whatever, and it's pretty cool.
yeah. Well, I think when you're passionate about something, or when you have a connection with something, it's really easy to remember bands and people and things.
Yeah.
It was for me. It was always I was always attracted to the music, and uh, it's so fucking weird, so funny. Maybe my first concert was Michael Jackson on the Thriller tour.
Hell yeah.
So, I was 6, 7, maybe 8,
Oh, get that out of
right?
there.
So
Yeah.
that maybe he was protecting
Wow.
me. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh no, I was just joking at the 6'7" hand thing. I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
not that.
Oh,
You
dude,
totally did it.
I was
it
leaving the
didn't even like
pedophile joke. I
register to
was leaving the
me.
pedophile jokes out. But yeah, that's fun.
But so I was young, and I don't really remember the show, but I remember leaving there and just being like, wow.
Yeah, it's Michael Jackson. Yeah, of course.
And so I'm like, ever since then, I'm like, fucking music. That's it. I don't give a fuck about anything else, just music.
Hmm.
So, what was you guys' first concerts?
Let's see. I think my first like big concert was it was a country one. It was Diamond Rio, Sawyer Brown, and Brooks and Dunn at the Tacoma Dome. That was my first like big concert. I grew up in Snohomish, which is a smaller, like, well, it's bigger now, but used to be kind of a rural town and all that. So when I was like, yeah, I think I was probably like 8, 9, somewhere in there. But that's all I listened to when I was that young was just country. That was it. So that was a big deal for me going to that one. That was super fun.
Huh.
Hell yeah. I mean,
Scale of
like,
1 to 10, how was that show?
I mean, I'd say 10 because I was blown away by the whole thing. But everybody was really good too. So yeah,
Hell yeah.
90s
Hell yeah.
mullet country.
yeah.
Pop
I mean, the
country.
Tacoma Dome's also like a giant arena, so you imagine like being a little kid in there and just being like blown away by just the size of everything too.
Oh,
Exactly.
the energy that you're feeling from everyone there, all the fucking drunk guys throwing beer. Woo, so Brad, let's
Yeah,
do it.
exactly, exactly.
What about you, Curtis?
I mean, like, so I grew up in a town called Anacortes, like an hour and a half north of Seattle. Tiny little town, like little fishing town. Like you take the ferry from my town to go to the other islands, like tiny. So I like we'd see a lot of like little like indie rock shows and stuff like that at coffee shops. But I always say like the first real concert I went to, which was at White River Amphitheater, which is a giant outdoor venue in Seattle. Like it was a huge deal because we drove the 2 hours from Anacortes to go to this thing. The whole experience was Rush, and it was on that tour where they started putting like washing machines on stage and like or dryers and like drying shirts and throwing them into the crowd. I was like, I
What?
don't know, like 15 or 16, and like I remember like on the way to White River, there's always big traffic stuff. So we like rolling down our window and like these old like shitty old dudes in like sleeveless shirts and be like, "Hell yeah, Rush, let's do this. Yeah." And like it was like as 15 or 16, like everyone's smoking weed and I was like, "This is rock and roll." Like that's always like my first like big like real concert memory, you know.
I mean, that's a good introduction. If you're not introduced to rock and roll with some fucking old drunk dude smoking weed going rock and roll, like that's your
Yeah. And like, this was like before the internet and I remember like a buddy of mine he like had cable, so we'd watch like, oh dude, AC/DC is gonna do a show on cable. Let's watch that. And like, but that's all we had. Cause like before the internet, we weren't finding all these other like random bands and stuff like that. So
yeah.
like going to see a band like Rush was a huge deal for us. We got like a group of like 4 dudes from our high school band class together, to go. Cause of course we're all nerdy music kids and like, yeah, it was a huge deal.
Yeah, that's cool as fuck. What good introductions you guys had to music too, like completely different, but and look at the music that you're fucking putting out.
Yeah,
God,
totally.
Oh
it's
yeah.
fucking
I mean,
rad.
I once I turned like 12 or 13, I definitely was like, okay, I'm not cool with any of this country stuff anymore. You know, Nirvana had came out and I just completely pivoted to the rock thing from there on out. So I still have a love for country and still listen to it, but I'm a little more selective now.
Yeah. Certain country, like I'm on a Billy Strings kick right now.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's
Yeah.
awesome.
that dude is fucking rad. And he's from Michigan where I'm from, so I'm like, it's a little more,
Oh,
oh
there you go. Well, he shreds though. That's the thing about
yeah.
him, and I feel like there's something about the way he plays that people that don't traditionally like bluegrass or that kind of stuff can get into it.
Yeah, he is one of those people that my favorite thing about him is he is unabashedly himself. You know, like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. He's gonna fucking play. He just loves music. He wants to talk music and fucking really dig into it. And that's, again, to me, that is like that's where I think that is the common theme between all of us is there is a musical lineage that like or sinew or whatever that just kind of brings us all together, which is just cool as fuck.
Yeah,
Oh,
totally.
No, that
oh
shit's
my
cool.
God.
It's
Yes.
like it's the 75th year of the Fender Telecaster this year. And so I've been getting bombarded with like a ton of like little mini documentaries about country guys shredding Telecasters. And so I've been watching so much of that over the last couple of days. Like, yes, this is so good.
Kelly is the only Fender that I care for. I don't like a Strat at all.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people feel that way. I always joke that like play a lot of Les Pauls and Gibsons, but like I feel like most Gibson players honestly can identify with Telecasters. There's something about the sound of the one, the way they feel, that a
Yeah,
lot of people still actually connect to that. And like I have a hard time with Strats as well, even though I like this other people playing them. When I pick one up, it just doesn't do what I want. But a Tele always feels like home, even though I'm used to playing Gibsons usually.
right. That's
Yeah,
funny. I'm a Gibson guy too.
Yeah. I think
yeah,
there's
and a
something
Strat will
there.
have its place, but
Yeah.
Strats like they're very specific. And if you're, I just think a telly is a little more versatile. Even though a lot of the time there's only two pickups instead of three, there's something about the way you can like hit that middle select and go beefy, hit the neck and, just kind of do the sorry stuff. Or if you put it into the bridge, you're just like twanging away. And, yeah, so there's something about it that telly's just
I
always blow
learned the
them out of the
trick.
water for me.
Those YouTube videos taught me the trick where if you do that bridge pickup, just keep playing and just roll off the tone just to get that ice pick off of it. And then like your Telecaster will sound amazing. And I started doing it and I was like, holy shit, this completely changed how I'm playing Telecasters now.
Yeah.
Dude. But I think the internet has done so much for uh the level of skill amongst players anymore because it's I think people can go from a complete amateur to fucking pro player in like 2 to 3 years, whereas it used to take, 10 plus to get to that level. Fucking wild.
Yeah. More access to, different people teaching you how to play, showing you different techniques, and
Oh
you can
yeah.
just deep dive so much easier on it now. Whereas you had to go to the music store and buy like 15 books that, you maybe took like 3 pages from that actually really resonated with you and helped you be a better
Yeah.
player. So, yeah, much different now.
Yeah. So much different. Okay. Well, I've got to get you guys back to Louisville like
Please.
uh soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Like,
never been, so
I mean, I feel like if, especially if we can do something like that Asheville Fest or whatever, like of course, we would stop at Louisville on the way over. Like, it'd be amazing.
Well, I sure fucking hope so.
Yeah. No, especially if we can like plan it on a Monday, like that would be a great way to spend a Monday on a tour anyways. So like, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So we've got one of my buddies is a chef, and when we bring bands through, or when we're involved in bringing bands through, we try to like make sure you guys are taken care of with like a place to fucking sleep, and
Oh,
he
dude, that's
feeds
amazing.
you and shit. Do you guys know You're the Cobra?
Yeah, of
oh yeah.
course.
John and Amy, they came through. He fucking fed them, and they were like, "Oh my God, this is so good!" Like, yes.
Yeah, man,
Yeah,
they live
they're good people.
down in West Seattle, so they're like 20 minutes away from us and see them all the time.
Oh yeah, love them, dude. They're so badass and super nice. So
They are, and I
Yeah.
think they're a great testament to like if you're just like I don't hear anyone ever talking shit about them as human beings. Like they're just wonderful people, and if you just kindness goes so far because like I said, how many times have we mentioned bands that we both knew or have talked to in this conversation?
yeah,
Like being a decent human being like they are, or like those Volcano guys are, it's like it goes so far in this industry, you know?
it does. It goes so far everywhere.
In
Just don't
life,
be a piece of
yeah,
shit, you know?
exactly.
Like
But yeah, it's
super.
like just that little those little bits of kindness, people you forget how much people remember it, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So what kind of physical copies of Through the Hourglass are you all going to have?
So vinyls and CD. Oh, you got it right there, I guess.
Got it right here. Wait, take the sleeve off. There we go.
Just got to pull up the
That,
actual vinyl.
yeah, what color is the vinyl? Do 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 do
Yeah, I know,
do
right?
do
It's
do.
just like, ooh.
There we go. It's kind of a yellow, black, kind of bumblebee situation.
I was thinking like it's a bumblebee splatter.
Yeah, dude. It's like so we have those vinyls available through our Bandcamp, and we'll have them for sale at our shows also as well, obviously. There's CDs that turned out really well as cool, or excuse me, really cool as well. And then like, like we're gonna update our Bandcamp, I think, after our album release show April 3rd with like a bunch of shirts and stuff like that too. We just wanted to get those like the first run of those at that album release show. But we did
Okay.
like a yellow and black like tie-dye shirt with the logo on it to kind of match the yellow and black like splattery vinyl, which I think is just a cool little thing to do. And like, you know, like we have like air fresheners and buttons. Like we make hot sauce, but we don't sell that on Bandcamp because I don't want to ship it. But
Why not? It's just hot sauce.
break, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so I came from a warehouse that was I did that for I don't know a decade or something,
Yeah,
and we shipped appliance parts, which is like yay appliance parts. Well,
yeah,
one of the things that we shipped were light bulbs for your microwave or your oven or whatever, and they fought like we. The big deal was never put a light bulb in a padded mailer.
yeah.
So we shipped 100 light bulbs in padded mailers. Do you know how many got broke?
How many?
None.
Wow, that's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Like
I,
across the country, not just like next door. You know what I mean? Like they kind of
Yeah,
went
yeah, yeah.
everywhere.
That's pretty
And
cool.
so I think you've got some opportunity with the hot sauce.
Yeah, maybe. It's like it's always tough because like so our bass player actually makes it. So it's like we'll do batches of about like 70 bottles or so. And it is kind of thing like they sell out pretty quick. And it's like that thing of like, do I want to ship them out or do I want to be like, you can only get these at our shows? And which just sucks for the East Coast, obviously, but like it's like that balance of what do you want to do there?
Yeah.
So
Now that makes a lot of sense, especially if you're selling them out pretty quick. I mean, there's no sense in trying to fucking ship them unless you're just trying to sell more hot sauce.
yeah, right.
yeah.
I'll talk to Brian, our bassist, about that. Like, how much do you
Yeah.
want him to start making on these batches? So,
No shit. Come on,
Well,
Brian. You can do it.
on on that note, we will have vinyl available at our April 3rd release show prior to the April 10th actual full release. So that's another reason to come out to the show if you're in or around Seattle.
Hell yeah. Wish I was fucking in Seattle so I could come get it.
Fly on out, come on
yeah,
down.
Yes. Yeah. All right, I'm on my way.
yeah,
Um,
I got a couch available if you want to crash.
listen, don't threaten me with a good time. Like this is my life. I'm like I want to go to a show. Okay, where are we gonna go? I don't know. I know someone here and there's this band playing. Oh, we can sleep on their couch. Fuck yeah, let's do it.
Well, it's probably a great excuse to like, if you want to take your family on a vacation, like, hey, we're going to Seattle. Is there a cool show? Because you've met all these bands through doing the podcast, you can kind of like maybe even plan like family vacations and also go to a show while you're on that vacation.
What, dude? Like we literally do that. 2017, when we gave the kids three options to go on vacation. One of those, I don't remember what the other two were. Like they were good vacations. It was like go to Disney World or something. And one of them was drive up to Minneapolis to go see Guns N' Roses and Deftones play.
Yeah.
We let the kids pick it, and they were like Guns N' Roses and Deftones.
Hell yeah.
I fucking we raised you right. Let's do this.
Man, the kids
So,
are loving the Deftones these days. It's great.
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah, like they're
it
bigger than ever.
I know. I love it for them, but I fucking hate it for me because like I like the smaller venues.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
glad I'm glad they're selling out the arenas though. You know, like good for them. Uh, I hope they keep making just killer music. You know.
Yeah.
They're cool too. Like I feel like I see them bringing accessible heavy bands, but also bands maybe like Gojira or something like that, a little bit heavier side of stuff. Like they're pretty cool about putting together tour packages to like represent kind of both sides of what they do, you know?
Yeah, it's nice that they do that because I think it offers a lot to their fans and it really like it opens people up to bands that maybe they otherwise wouldn't have listened to,
Totally. Totally.
you know. Uh, they had I think Mars Volta was on the last US tour with them, which is like
That's crazy. That's an awesome tour.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they had the Barbarians of California. Do you guys know them?
No, what is
No.
that?
So uh what was the fucking guy, dude? There was a dude who had a song. God, I feel like a complete ass. His name's Aaron. If I could remember the name
Okay.
of the artist, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, I know exactly what song you're talking about."
Weird.
Uh, but so they like him and one of the producers started this other project, the Barbarians of California, which are very like punk and hardcore influenced, but they have a lot of like pop. I don't want to say pop elements, but it is a lot more accessible than like Hatebreed. You know what I
Yeah, yeah,
mean?
for sure.
Um, and their songs they're great songs and they're hooky and they are fun and they're fucking high energy. They were on that last. They did some shows with Deftones too, and like if you don't know them, that is another band you guys should check out because they're super fucking rad.
On my list, I'm adding stuff as you're talking, so.
Yeah. This is this is what I mean. Okay, I'm not going to keep you guys. I've really had a lot of fun just
Yeah.
sitting here running my fucking mouth with you.
For
So
sure.
Like I said, we really appreciate you taking the time to do this too, because it's time out of your day. So like this has been amazing. Thank you.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun.
Thank you.
No, thank you. I'm gonna
All
just
right.
so you know if I'm gonna pre-order an album because I don't want I have to fucking have it.
Oh, sick.
Um, so if you want to toss in a couple of stickers with it,
Yeah, email Jad to do that. So like if you order a vinyl off our Bandcamp, it comes from them, not from
okay,
us. So
okay,
like have them actually, you know what? Email me your address and I'll collect some stuff from we have like all of our regular merch. So
okay.
just send me your address, I'll send you something.
All right, send me your fucking shoot me your email on Insta and
Yeah,
we'll connect that way.
well, I will send you a little care package. So
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell
Well, thanks,
yeah,
Tom.
brother. Yeah, thanks.
oh,
You
yeah,
guys have a great
brother.
night.
All right, man.
Yeah,
See you later.
You.
brother. See ya.
All right. Bye.